Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. It's a beautiful Friday morning, November 5th, 2021. It's an absolute pleasure to get together with you, our distribution partners, most weekday mornings at this time, a minute or so before 8 a.m. Central. We have affiliates, we have white label partners, and we have our new leadership team that we're assembling, our regional vice presidents. So welcome to you all, whether you're listening to this live or recorded after the fact. So I have my screen shared if technology is working in my favor, and we're going to talk a bit about one of the three things that we do. Well, what are the three things that we do? Regardless if you're an affiliate, a white label partner, or a regional vice president, at the highest level, the strategic level, what are the three things that we do? Number one, we help improve financial literacy, which is hint, our topic today. Secondly, we help build lender-compliant loan packages. And number three, we increase access to capital. Those are the three things that you and I do to be able to help others and earn money. Now, the truth is, I don't know what your primary motivation is. If it's money, that's fine. We've got a recipe, a system to follow that if you can't generate $100,000 a month, with a little ramp up time, implementing this, then shame on you, shame on us. But for some, it's not money that's the motivation. It's making a difference in others' lives. So as we go back to the three things that we do, increase financial literacy, build lender compliant loan packages, and provide access to capital. Today, we're going to spend just a few minutes on the first of those three. Today's training module, or model, I should say, is based upon a split study approach. So I'm only going to spend about 15 minutes with you this morning, but I'm going to encourage you to use the second 15 minutes that hopefully you've allocated for today to do some self-study, and I'll instruct you how here at the end. All right, so the screen is shared. We're on the all too familiar iimfl.org white label page. No surprise there. Where do we access the financial literacy information? Beneath the YouTube trainings, which are relevant to you as a distribution partner, not really relevant to the client. Beneath where you submit each white label client, which is relevant to you. You wouldn't send clients there. Of course, beneath the agreement templates that you would have used to secure an executed agreement with your client. We get down to the process. But specifically, we get to this point right here. This is where you find the instructors and participants guides. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview on this, but again, the second half of today's session is going to be you going to the iimfl.org/white label page, scrolling down and clicking on this link. So I'm going to go ahead, and I already have the link pulled up. So when you click on that link, it's going to bring up this page. So the financial literacy curriculum that we use is award-winning curriculum. And you can see it was developed jointly by the FDIC and the SBA. We are very active in using this content to help our clients become more financially literate, but let's get rid of that politically correct, to help them become smarter, to help them know what they don't know so they can position their business to be more successful. There was an article in the Wall Street Journal. I read it last night, but I'm often a day to 2 days behind, so I don't remember which day's publication it was in this week. And the question was asked, I guess a panel of experts, if someone wanted to become an entrepreneur, what is the best undergraduate degree for them to obtain? And of course, you don't have to have a degree to be an entrepreneur, but the question is, what's the core of education? And to no surprise, what did most of them say? A business degree. Well, I have a business degree. You may have a business degree. It doesn't really matter. But what you and I are doing is putting into a very simple format, a condensed, practical, relevant format, topics that the clients need to be able to be successful in raising capital. So if I go back to the white label page, you can see that we have 4 modules, don't we? Misclick there. 4 modules. Now, we have created for you white label training videos, so you don't have to take the time to teach the class live over and over and over. So instead, here it is, it's canned, and you can just provide it to them, and it's white label, meaning it's generic. But where did the content come from? It largely came from the FDIC, and I'm going to show you more in a second. So for each of the 4 modules that we focus on, so the FDIC has more curriculum than just what you and I are focusing on with these 4 modules. We're going to focus on business planning, credit, financial management, and banking and money. And the learning objectives of each is stated here for your reference. As a white label partner, if you're working with a client, you need to somehow get this information out to your clients. You wouldn't guide them to this page. You could copy and paste it or what have you. If you're an affiliate, you don't have to worry about this, right? Because you don't do the financial literacy. You just refer in and get paid. And then if you're a regional vice president, you need to know this so you can help your white label partners be successful. So going back to this link here, which I've clicked on, I've already brought up, so we're ready. Money Smart for Small Business. And we scroll down, and what you'll see is that there are 14 modules. Again, we are focused just on 4. Does that mean that the other 10 aren't good or not important? Absolutely not. But we're, again, dealing with adult learners that are looking for results. They're not here probably just for financial literacy. They're looking for the end result of being able to access capital. So we've got to drill down to what's most important. So for instance, planning for a healthy business is the technical topic. Now, we call it business planning, but the PowerPoint that we've created the YouTube off of and what you'll use for them comes from planning for healthy business. So what's the point? There could be a slight variation in naming just because it better fit our needs. But we are approved to use this. We have applied. We've been accepted. So everything's kosher. We're able to use this great curriculum. And frankly, when you're out talking to referral partners and you say, we do 3 things. We help small businesses increase financial literacy, build a lender compliant loan package, and access a minimum of $100,000 of capital guaranteed. And the financial literacy we use is award-winning curriculum. And again, these aren't my words, you can read them, jointly developed by the FDIC and the SBA. So strong. All right, so then if we focus on planning for a healthy business, which is module 1, then what you need to be aware of is that there's an instructor guide and a participant guide for each module. There's also PowerPoint slides, which you're welcome to dink around with if you want, but we've made that step more efficient for you because we've taken those slides, we've created the educational message in on-demand YouTube, so it makes it a little bit simpler for you. But from the participants guides and the instructor guides, you're going to access them directly from this site. So for example, let's go to the participant guide for planning for a healthy business, which ties to what we call business planning. So I went ahead and opened it up again, just by clicking on that same link, but I just want to make sure that it was pulled up and ready for you. So when we get to the participant guide, again, if you're an affiliate, this is good information to know, but you have no responsibility to do anything with it because someone else is going to mentor those clients. If you're a white label partner, this is really relevant because you should be doing this, or you would outsource it to someone else. You could work with your RVP and maybe they do it. You could outsource it to us, but someone needs to help these clients build their financial literacy. Take Beatrice that's on the line here. Very successful entrepreneur. She's both a client. She's enrolled 3 of her companies in access to capital, plus she's a white label partner. Beatrice, I think, would confirm you can't go out into the marketplace and they expect that they don't need to know anything new. They don't need to do anything differently. They're just magically going to sign up and get $1 million, right? That doesn't sound too honest or ethical to me. The reality is we need to help them improve financial literacy, build their lender compliant loan package. And based upon all of that, then we're going to have greater access to capital, won't we? So within the participant guide, and again, we'll conclude here in about 5 minutes, and you can go to the white label page. You can click on the link, which is here, and you can go look at all the guides that you want to. But we're just going to walk through briefly the participant guide for the planning session, what we call module 1, because I need to bring to your attention that we assess learning. Effective learning includes an assessment, not just, oh, here's something, look at it. So you can scroll through and you can see it's an outstanding table of contents. We talk about the 4-step planning model, where we start with the back of the napkin plan, and then we get a resource plan. What would it cost to get started? We use an example throughout of Sophia's business, the full business plan, and then the ongoing action plan, which we use SMART goals for. But the point I wanted to bring up to you is that you're going to find that there is a pre and a post test form. So as a white label partner, we're not going to be micromanagers. So if you want to do this diligently or you want to do this passively, it's frankly up to you, because it's your client, right? If you're a white label partner, the client you're working with is your client, not ours. We're providing the support and assistance. But the point is, if you wanted to do it diligently, you would assess each client's learning before and after. And so, of course, for each lesson, there's different questions asked. For instance, I can write a SMART goal. Well, a lot of people would say, well, Beatrice, I don't even know what a SMART goal is. No. And so they'd probably give it a very low. They would give it a 1, right? Strongly disagree. But after Beatrice, who's one of our best white label partners, excellent at mentoring, what's going to happen for that person after they've gone through module 1 with Beatrice? They're going to be a level 4. They should be at least 3 or 4. So it's up to you. We are not micromanaging that you have to do the pre and post test, that you have to collect it. But I think you have to decide at some point, how good do you want to be? Do you want to just be a money grabbing goblin and all you're trying to do is make your $100,000 a month? Or in fact, what are you trying to address all 3 of these areas, including financial literacy, including using the curriculum that we set forth and actually assessing if people are learning that? And so you could even upload these forms into the Dropbox to validate that you've done it, but it's not a requirement. Now, again, I know some of you are white label partners and you're saying, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. This is not my thing. I'm just a business developer. Great. You can be the leader. Then you could have someone else do the implementation, and that you could work with your vice president to be the resource for that. You can outsource it to us, outsource it to someone else. At the end of the day, again, it's your client, your white label client, how detailed you want to go. There's also an evaluation form that's really nice to collect. My concern is not enough of you are diligently using this financial literacy information that's available here, and you click and access it. Now you might say, well, I'm interested in doing this, but I feel like I need some more prep. I'm not ready to go work with clients. Well, to no surprise, that's why there are instructor guides for every one of the modules, right? So there's participant guides for the access to capital client, and there's an instructor guide for whomever is taking them through it. So I'd like to get a couple minutes of feedback, and then we're going to conclude early today with the express purpose, the hope, the prayer that when we leave early, that you're not going to move on to something else in your day, but instead what you'll do is you'll go to the white label page of the IIMFL, you'll review this information, click on the FDIC link, which is going to link you right here, and you'll take some time to get familiar with the instructor guides and the participant guides. But with that being said, who has questions, comments, feedback? Dion, thank you, Dion, for being on here. And Dion's one of our more active white label partners. So Dion, I don't want to put you on the spot, but are you getting an evaluation form from each of your clients? Are you doing the pre and the post test, Dion, for your clients? I'm just curious. Zahn, how about you? Zahn's one of our top regional vice presidents. He's hit it fast out of the chute. So again, none of this is to embarrass you. This is just to draw increased awareness. We haven't changed the white label page. This information has been here for a long, long time. And when we do the onboarding trainings, which there's a couple of them, we make reference to it. But I just felt in my gut today that I needed to spend some more time bringing your attention to the strength and the power of what we do. And it's a little bit of a CYA, right? So let's say you have a client enroll, and we all know about the 3 C's, right? Credit, collateral, and cash flow. And let's say that their capital raise doesn't progress as quickly as they would like. And I know that's probably their end goal. But if you're not doing anything to help them move from where they're at to where they need to be in terms of financial literacy, then I think they would have more of a gripe. But if you're actually taking them through these lessons and taking the opportunity to educate them. Now, ultimately, I know the customer is always right. So for instance, Doug, you could have a client that enrolls that says, I don't want to do any of this SHIT, right? So, I mean, you can fast track them through that. That's up to you how you want to integrate the financial literacy into what you do for your white label clients. But at the end of the day, I think you're cheating your clients. You're shorting your clients the value proposition that they should receive, because as a white label partner, why we do the 50-50 split is because you're more involved, and this information is very helpful. One of the ways that we learn that people have skipped is we'll have a white label client that the white label partner tells us, okay, they're ready to go to funding, and then we go look at their balance sheet and it's just all jacked up, and it's like, well, did you take them through module 3 at all, where we teach about balance sheets and the relevance and how they're set up? No. And so we're just not going to have as optimal of an outcome if we don't take the time to educate them. All right, so the deal today is we're going to end early, and I ask, I hope, I pray that as we end in just a moment here, what you'll do is either now or soon, go to the iimfl.org white label tab, click on that link I showed you, which will bring this up, and then get familiar with the instructor guides and the participant guides, and then have a plan. At some way, at some point you'll need to decide how in depth you want to be in this financial literacy component. Frankly, you could be just as passive as you send them the link, which for the YouTube video, you could send them the link to the participant guide and say, here you go, do it if you want. Well, that's a hell of a lot better than doing nothing. But what would probably be even better would be to do that and then work with them on it. But that is your discretion. That's the beauty of the white label model, is these are your clients and you can provide them as much value as you wish. And that's one of the reasons some of you are charging a higher participation fee. I see more and more of you going up to about a 14-15% participation fee, because you're putting more time into it. You're creating more value for the client, and that's fine. That would be your choice to do. All right, so again, we're going to end early. We'll be back Monday, but what I'm hoping that you'll do in the few minutes that we have left between now and the bottom of the hour, go to the white label page, click on that link, which will bring this up, and then start looking and getting familiar, and probably downloading the participant guides and the instructor guides. And we'll continue this discussion on Monday after you've done so. Thanks, everyone. See you Monday. Have a great day and a great weekend. Make it count. Bye-bye.